Welcome to Woah Drama Stories. We indulge of speaking of day-to-day troubles of human beings. Let's not wait any longer and start with the video. Story 1. My fiancé, male 22, and I, female 22, did not have a typical relationship where I get jealous of him over the fact that he had a girl best friend. This isn't to say that women who do get jealous are wrong or anything. This is just to add context to the story. So, my fiance and I met during the sophomore year of college, and the very first day I met him, his best friend was along with him. So, before even coming as a couple, we had this relationship which worked out amazingly well for us. For me, these guys never made me feel like I was getting between them or that I was ruining their friendship. So, of course, when my husband and I decided to start dating, I knew I had to return the favor and also not get in between their friendship. Unless something struck me as wrong to me, and well, recently, for the first time, it did. Something struck me as wrong, but it wasn't anything normal. It felt like a bombshell was being dropped on me. It began when my fiancé proposed to me. It was a super sweet, elaborate proposal, all planned by him and his best friend. When I saw the efforts that these two put in, I just knew who was going to be the maid of honor at my wedding. It all happened instantly, and sadly, I can now feel the instant regret as well. It wasn't anything crazy, but then as our wedding got closer and the planning got more serious, things started to fall apart hard and fast. I found myself feeling extremely stressed and overwhelmed, and it wasn't the normal wedding stress. It was till a point where I was crying myself to sleep almost every day. I was questioning everything and even questioning myself as a partner. When I decided to take a day off from all the wedding planning after being advised by my friends, it didn't take me longer than an hour to realize who it was causing all these feelings inside of me. It was none other than my fiancé's best friend. Her micromanaging, her constant remarks on my looks, my choices, my decisions, the warning signs the other friends in the wedding party showed me indirectly, all hit, and I just knew I couldn't let her stay in the wedding party, because I know if I did, I'd find myself in a wedding that is entirely her dream wedding and not mine. So after contemplating on this decision deeply and getting my words straight, I approached my fiancé to talk about it all. Now, I don't know where I went wrong, because I know for a fact that my words were nowhere as close to harsh, but my fiancé's reaction was absolutely feral. He went crazy at my suggestion about asking his best friend to step down from the wedding party. He said all sorts of nasty things to me, told me I was the problem because I was just unleashing my inner bitch because I have the ring now. He warned me how the moment I asked his best friend to step down from the role of maid of honor would be the moment that he'll end his relationship with me. After that, he just packed his things and went over to a friend's house where he's been living for the past week. We've been talking here and there, but it's pretty obvious what he wants. He wants me to apologize to him and act as if whatever happened between us never did. I'm sure that he's told this to everyone, including his best friend, because they've both been giving me the same responses. My in-laws and the rest of everyone has been on my side, surprisingly, which once again is something that they're both not happy about. I'm honestly absolutely lost here because WTF am I even supposed to think about all of this? And what am I even supposed to do? Is my fiancé really in the right here? Update. Alright, I took many of you guys' advice and did as a lot of you instructed. I spoke to my in-laws, specifically my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law is aware of my fiancé's best friend. They don't seem very close, but she does know of their friendship, and well, there's a reason why they're not close, and the reason is actually very close to what you guys had predicted. My mother-in-law told me that my fiancé's best friend and fiancé were indeed dating all throughout high school, and quite literally even a few months after we met. These guys had the audacity to break up only because my in-laws weren't accepting of him and best friend's relationship. The reason behind it was because, to put it lightly, his best friend did not have so much of a good reputation in high school. She was known to be very out of character, my in-laws' words, and cheated on my fiancé multiple times. My mother-in-law pretty much broke down with me when I explained to her the true extent of the situation, and told me that if that's the case, the reason why he did what he did would be most likely for the hefty inheritance that they're going to leave him back. Well, it did not take much time for my fiancé to confirm that either. I decided to go over to his friend's place to confront him, and he pretty much confessed to me how what I said was a breaking point, because the both of them were planning to manipulate me into having the dream wedding of his best friend, so that she could live through me until they both could get together once his parents passed away. I was speechless, because my ex-fiancé had no remorse in his eyes. He really thought that he was doing something great, only if he knew love wasn't going to win in this case. Ever since then, I kicked him out of our shared apartment because I was paying the majority of the rent anyways. The friend's house he was living in kicked him out too, and needless to say, his parents don't want anything to do with him. You know what the real shocker is, though? It's the fact that his so-called soulmate is in a relationship and has picked her partner over him. Although I would be lying if I said I'm not heartbroken, the instant karma he received has helped me feel just a little better about the situation. I hope this post serves you guys as a reminder to not be like me, to be constantly alert and awake, and to take a stand when your mental health is at stake without questioning anything. Comment 1. I just knew something suspicious was going on between the fiancé and best friend, and the moment OP mentioned that he even had a fiancé. Glad OP could get out before they got married and complicated things even more. Comment 2. What the hell is even wrong with the fiancé? He did all of this for what? For the best friend to pick her partner over him? What a shame. Story 2. I don't really know if this is the right subreddit to post. If it's not, please let me know so I can go to the right place to ask for advice. My girlfriend, female 25, has gone through a lot. There's no denying that. She has a lot of baggage to unpack. Her life has been a mess pretty much ever since she was a little kid and up till the point she graduated college. She was under a lot of pressure from her parents, and well, to put it lightly, she's also gotten herself into very unfavorable relationships that did her no good at a time she really needed support and help. Needless to say, it all resulted in her going through a lot of psychological turmoil. Things only changed when she graduated and got a job. This gave her all the means to cut off her very toxic parents. She says cutting off her parents helped her a lot with her mental health, and well, after a year of that, we met and have been dating ever since. Aside from this particular situation, if you ask me, my girlfriend has been nothing but a good partner to me. I'm aware she's a bit sensitive at times and has some of her downsides, but who doesn't? I could work through all of that until this happened, but this one thing about her is making me feel unsure about things. It all lies in this habit of hers to trauma dump. I don't know what/why she does it, but she has this habit where she trauma dumps on everyone, regardless of how little she knows them, how uninterested they are, what situation she might be in. It has gotten us into many awkward situations, but usually, people are quite understanding of us. But I just knew there would be someone that would call her out on it, and well, that person turned out to be someone completely unexpected. My very traditional and very non-confrontational mom. It all started when we were at my parents' place for Christmas, just 2 days back. My parents have met my girlfriend a few times before, but they're usually very busy with work. So this is one of the first times that we were staying over at their place for an extended period of time, and well, it was going really well until dinner came, and one topic led to another, and my girlfriend really got going about her trauma dumping. She went on and on about her past. She even became very graphic at some parts. It immediately created awkwardness at the dinner table, but my girlfriend just couldn't get herself to hold back, even when I very gently tried to change the topic. Then, it just happened. I don't know what took over my mom at that moment, but she just said it. She made a couple of remarks about how the dinner would have tasted better if people knew where and when to dump their trauma. It hit my girlfriend immediately. I could see it on her face. I also told my mom to cut it, and unfortunately, that just worsened things. It led to my girlfriend apologizing, and my mom telling her that an apology isn't going to fix the mood she put us all into. I was honestly speechless at that point, and so was my dad. My girlfriend just picked up her things and got going. I know regardless of who was right or wrong, I really needed to follow my girlfriend. She went on and on about how my mom was disgusting and how someone as privileged as her would never understand what it was like to go through trauma. That was sort of the part where I may be the a-hole, because she was just making assumptions at this point. I told her although I understand that my mom was harsh, she was also in the wrong for turning a Christmas dinner into a mourning ceremony, especially when I had warned her against it. She turned bright red in the face at that comment and stayed quiet throughout the rest of the car ride. After we got home, she refused to stay back a moment longer and packed her things to leave for her sister's place. Ever since then, for the past few days, I've been getting nothing but grief from her and her sister over what happened. Now, I'm ready to admit that I definitely might be wrong in some places in this situation, but don't you guys think she is as well? I may be completely wrong though, so please correct me if you guys think so. Update. Well, I know this update is earlier than expected, but it's because there's not much left to update. My girlfriend had me up yesterday and broke up with me, and well, I'm really not going to try and fix the unfixable anymore, so I decided to let go. It's a bummer that she didn't even want to try and talk things out, especially when my mom was ready to talk about it all as well, but I think the situation is too immature to try to fix any of it. I've posted this update to give you guys closure on this situation, and thank you for all the support you guys provided me with. Currently, I'm at my parents' place, and we're planning to get together to redo the Christmas dinner that we lost, LOL. Once again, thank you guys for your amazing advice, and I hope this post is helpful to others going through something similar. Comment 1. I used to trauma dump a lot because I was drowning in my past and didn't know how to communicate my feelings otherwise. Your girlfriend might be in the same situation, but it's really not on you to grab her thumbs like a child and take her to therapy. You've told her multiple times, kindly. Now, if she still thinks she's not wrong, it's on her. Don't try to fix the unfixable. Comment 2. Your partner might be suffering way more than just being traumatized. Not saying your partner is narcissistic, but they might just be one. Please proceed with caution. Story 3. All throughout high school and college, I dated Brian. Calling the relationship between Brian and I toxic would be an understatement. Brian was abusive, a liar, and a cheat. He manipulated me into staying with him the majority of my school and college life. This isn't to say I was a saint completely. I too made my mistakes in that relationship. Everyone knew the intensity of our relationship, tried desperately to tear us apart, my parents being a part of that group. I refused to listen. I thought I could somehow fix that guy. I really thought I could do something that would lead him to understand I was the one for him. Needless to say, I was making a fool of myself all these years, and honestly, if my sister didn't do what she did, I genuinely think I wouldn't have given up on him. He was almost like an addiction, and it's all due to the fact that he was snatched away from him as harshly as he was, that I decided to get away from him. But here's the kicker, though. It's been 6 years ever since it all went down. I reached a point in life where everything went down seems like a blur to me, and call me evil, but sometimes I'm even glad that my sister was the one who slept with him and decided to get in a relationship with him, because otherwise, like I said, I really wouldn't have been where I am today, in a much better place. Unfortunately, though, a lot of people don't think the same way, and I've only found out about it recently when my parents received a call from the cops asking them to come pick up my sister as she had fainted and was found by the cops. She surprisingly had my parents' number as her emergency contact list, and well, my parents, being concerned and curious to know how my sister is doing after going no contact with them over 6 years, they picked her up and brought her to their house. Honestly, when I heard about this all, I was relieved. I knew she probably wasn't happy there, and I knew this situation was most likely the wake-up call she needed, like me. Well, that is true, but I guess you can say it's also the half-truth, because the moment my sister saw me come visit her, she blew up at me. Her anger was through the roof. She yelled, screamed at me, telling me how I was at fault for everything that has ever happened to her. She went on and on about how if I wasn't a fool to sleep with a toxic a-hole, she wouldn't have fallen for him either. I was dumbfounded. I did not know what to say. My parents, who were present there during her outburst, immediately sided with me, telling her how I had always warned her against dating Brian. That seemed to have gotten her even angrier. It all ended up with me leaving the house in tears, because my aunt decided it was the perfect time to jump in on the rampage to shame me along with my sister. I'm really not here to look for any advice on what to do. I know my sister is in a state of deep trauma currently, and her reaction might just be from the frustration coming out from all these years. But here's the thing. There's just this part of me that cannot get myself to forgive her. Like, I just can't. It's driving me crazy. I know I don't have to if I don't want to, but isn't that the point? Me needing to be more forgiving and understanding of someone that's gone through something similar to me? I don't know why I can't. The fact that a lot of my relatives have been siding with me while the others have been completely against me doesn't help much either. So I'll leave it up to you guys. Am I in the wrong here? Would I be wrong for wanting to cut my sister out completely? Comment 1. Hell nah, your sister needs to touch some grass. I mean, I do feel sorry for her and the fact that she's gone through so much, but she was warned to not date Brian. The fact that she went along with it over the fact that he's literally your abusive ex makes it so much more messed up. Comment 2. You're not the a-hole, OP. Your sister made her bed, now she's just too scared to lay in it.